Hello everyone. Today I'm gonna be reading Little Angel, a tale from Super Zeros by Jamie Ricks. Here we go. Eliza was the eldest child in the Tolley family. Below her were her two punching bags, her little brother Wickham, and the dog, Buster, or as neighbors called, Bad Boy, because that was all they ever heard of him being called over the garden fence. Wickham and Buster's life ran along similar paths. Buster spent most of his life in the kennel, which was a chain attached to a sycamore tree at the bottom of the garden, while Wickham spent most of his life in his bedroom for having naughty bones, as his mother liked to say, over and above being prisoners. What Bad Boy and Dog together was the fact that neither had ever done anything wrong. They were always framed by another, and that other was Eliza. Eliza. She was always to blame, and always clever enough not to get caught. What was even more extraordinary about this family was that Eliza and Wickham's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Tolley, were both policemen and women. Terry Tolley was a detective who solved murder cases, while Laura Tolley cut up dead bodies looking for evidence that Mr. Tolley could use to catch the killer. For example, if Terry thought that a person had been beaten to death by a large pelican, he would ask his wife to look for evidence of fish in the victim's stomach, the discovery of which would prove conclusively that the victim had been eating out of the pelican's bucket of fish when the pelican had lifted up from behind and done him in with its beak. The point is that the innocent child was getting the blame, while the guilty one was getting away scot-free. Detective Constable Terry Tolley and forensics detective Laura Tolley were the last ones you think of. It all started at Stacy's Beanbag's birthday party when Eliza was 9. It was the first time she had ever played musical statues, and she took it to it like a Chinese torturer to water. When the judge had her back turned and the music was playing, Eliza bit, punched, tripped, and shoved her fellow competitors in the back so that when the music stopped and the judge looked around, Eliza was the only player standing perfectly still with her perfect smile and perfectly twinkling blue eyes. As she was leaving Stacy's house, not a moment she was seen for Stacy. Eliza spotted an old copy of the celebrity magazine Hot on the hotel. It had an article inside about the mysterious disappearance of the world champion musical statue, Nick Ferret, who'd previously beaten up his little sister, then vanished after winning the title last year. Eliza slipped the magazine under her coat and read it on the way home. 10 minutes later, when she burst through the front door, she was full of her new idea. I want to be the new world champion musical statuer, she cried. Since when? Asked her father. Since I just played musical statues and realized I was brilliant, said modestly. Since I just read this magazine and imagined my face on the front cover. Just think of it, father. Father, your little angel is famous as Paris Hippo and Christine Anaconda. My little angel, my little star, gushed a proud but delusional father, wiping tears of hope from his eyeballs. Now that he had her sights set on becoming the best musical statuer in the world, Eliza had to practice three skills: standing still, smiling sweetly, and cheating. She had worked out that the winner of musical statues was invariably the person who could knock the other players off balance without getting caught by the judge. The more she practiced, the nastier she became. She smashed china and blamed it on Buster's tail. She ripped newspapers and blamed it on his teeth. She she farted and blamed it on his butt. And when the white silver was covered in mud, even though he had been outside in the garden, but burying a dead body, she fingered Buster as the culprit. It must be Buster, she said with wide-eyed innocence. Did that come? Buster's paws are clean while your hands are dripping with mud, asked her mother. I don't know, she said calmly. It wasn't me. Oh, now I don't know anymore, asked her mother, who was brilliantly extracting the food from a tiny hair underneath a corpse fingernail, but couldn't see it when he was staring in the face, wearing bright pink knickers and a glitter wig. I was sure it was you, Eliza, because of the mud on your hands, but you never lied, so if you say it wasn't you, then it wasn't. Hello! shouted. Hello! shouted Wickham. She's putting the wool over your eyeballs! She's got muddy hands because she did it! I've got muddy hands because I've just used them to wipe the mud off Buster's paws, she said. Satisfied? Buster knew that when the game was up and took himself off to the doghouse. What a up and took himself to the doghouse. While the fool Mr. Toadley burst into tears. Mrs. Toadley burst into tears. I'm such a bad man for suspecting you. It was you in the first place. She wailed. She wailed. Yes, you are, confirmed Eliza, but after today, maybe you'll have learned your lesson. Then she left the room and deliberately bumped into Wickham so that she could give him a dead leg. As for you, she hissed and said, you're going straight to HE double hockey sticks. Anything that couldn't be blamed on the dog was blamed on Wickham. The list was unending. Breaking Mom's comb, flooding the bathroom, lettering Mom's tights. But I don't wear tights, protested Wickham when his mother confronted him with the answer. Your mother says you wore them to rob a bank, she said, and anything our little angel says must be true. Burned pans, lost keys, phone messages that were never passed on. Somebody forgot to tell me that Granny died and now we missed the funeral, shouted Mr. Tony. My own mother dead! I never said goodbye. Without letting anyone see, Eliza slipped the yellow post-it note out of her pocket. Tuesday, 4:30. Grandma phone. Granny dead. Please call back. Pressed it onto Wickham's hand and shouted, Oh, what is it in your hand? And Wickham, that's not fair, he cried. I've never seen it before in my life. Bad boy, growled his sister. Go to your bedroom. I'm not a dog, he said. Paused until he closed in the bathroom. Huge telephone bills and hair dye in the kitchen sink. Am I the one with wet hair? Protested Wickham. He pointed to his sister who was standing next to her sink and was dripping wet hair and a towel around her shoulder. No, that's Eliza. And what is the color of the hair dye on the walls and work surfaces? It is red. I have got black hair. Eliza has got red dyed hair. Even a detective could be able to work that out. But I didn't do it. Eliza smiled. And I may have been washing my hair, but I wasn't using hair dye. That was Wickham. He was pretending it was blood. It was him who squirted it over the eggs and plates and white lining towels. Wickham! snarled Mrs. Only. It wasn't me! protested the boy. Then why are you holding the bottle of red hair dye in your hand? asked his smug sister. Because you put it there, she said. And why would I do that? Because you heard Mom and Dad coming through the front door, shoved it in my hand, and one elastic band around my fingers, and I couldn't get them open again. Eliza shook her head at disappointment speed. Does that sound likely? She said. Does that honestly sound like the sort of thing your little angel would do? Her parents melted like chocolate, peanuts in her hand. Not a little angel, they said. Then they bolted the cupboard. And you can go to your room. The musical statues world championship was held in a Gothic castle called Gurlia. Slap bang in the middle of Dartmoor, where wolves howl as the Tony's car turned off the road and trekked up the drive toward the drawbridge that lay across the castle's moat. Twisted black rivers of bats swirled around the central tower that was held by the dozen flying buttresses. Below the castellations and just above the top floor windows stretched like one long eyebrow across the outer space was a ledge which ran all the way around the roof. Perched along this ledge were the creatures that gave its castle its name, bunched out with its horns, tails, and talons. Fire-breathing monsters with lions' heads, goats' bodies, and the tails of serpents. Winged humanoids laughing, leering, and spitting on the heads of those below. No, these were stone gargoyles, protectors, defenders! And as Eliza was shortly to find out, spirits of eternal vengeance! When the car stopped, Eliza was first up, dragging Wickham behind her. I'm this close to winning this title and becoming famous, she hissed into it. Get in my way and I'll squish you like a worm. I don't want to see you anywhere near a competition tomorrow, because I'm here to win, and you're just distracting me with your stupid face. What if I say no, said Wickham. What if I said I'll do it, but only if you're nice to me for a change and use the word please? Eliza's answer was swift and direct. With one shove, she propelled Wickham off the bank and into the muddy water of the moat. Help! He cried. Oh, Mummy, quick! Shouted Eliza. Wickham's falling in the moat. She pushed me! Wickham shouted in the darkness. Oh, Daddy, she pleaded. I wasn't pushing him. I was trying to save him by grabbing hold of the back of his coat. You little angel, said her father. We were blessed the day we had you, said her mother. I'm still in the water, said her brother, and Eliza just smiled. I am a little bit special. Come on, he said, but the gargoyles didn't think so. Their stone-cold eyes were singularly unimpressed. That night, while Mr. and Mrs. Tony occupied the Sherlock Holmes suite, and Eliza luxuriated in her Princess four-poster bed, Wickham had tossed and turned on the store mattress in the attic. He had caught a cold from swimming in the moat, and Eliza, had begged the parents not to let him sleep anywhere near her in case he patched on the germs and wrecked her chances of becoming world champion. It was 3 o'clock in the morning, and Wickham was still awake. His room was just underneath the roof, and an airy wind whistled through the gaps between the tiles. Suddenly he heard scratching at the window. It sounded like a stone being scraped across a plate. Through his threadbare curtains he could see the shadow of a hunched figure with pointed wings hanging from the ledge above his window. The scratching became more urgent. What do you want? Whispered Wickham bravely. Let me in, said the voice outside. It had a strange ring to it, like milestones grinding in an echo chamber. I'll read the rest soon. Like sub, click bell. Bye.